Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
That's where I was born. My mother moved back to North Carolina, and that's why I was raised in North Carolina.
Okay, so your mom's from North Carolina. She lived in Brooklyn, had you,
had me, moved
and
back.
then moved back.
I'm the fifth kid. My father, my mother and my father, after they conceived me, they broke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
he went off to the military, and my mom, she moved back to North Carolina.
Okay. So you get to North Carolina. How old are you at this point?
I don't know.
Young.
From what my mom's telling me, I could have been maybe 1 or 2. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You were really young.
Really young. Yeah.
Okay. So as a baby, you went back to North Carolina. What was it like growing up in North Carolina?
It's the country, and my family owns like over close to 2,000 acres where we live at. So it was fun. I mean, my grandmother lived next door to where my mom lived, and my uncle lived like right behind my grandmother. So it was just family. And me and my oldest sister, we tell people it's almost like we grew up like the Amish because it was just cousins everywhere. And just imagine we're on like a lot of land. So it's just cousins. So when the bus comes, like we went to a majority white school, Swansboro, North Carolina. And majority of the black kids that were there, they're kin to me.
Yeah.
So it was very few of us. But
so you guys were all very tight-knit, close. Rambunctious? Yes. Were you getting into trouble or?
No.
Good kids.
Good kids. Yeah. I mean, grew up on a farm. Yeah. Had pigs, had corn, like whatever. Like my family grew everything, you know. And then they took the pigs to slaughter, and they would cook chitlins right there, like, had the big pots. And yeah, it was very family oriented. My grandparents would get all their grandkids every summer and watch them. So we had cousins that came from New York that would come down, DC that would come down. And my grandmother would like watched all of us. Like all my mom worked, and her and my grandfather.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was very close to them.
Did you play any sports growing up?
Yes, I did. Played basketball. Tall. Yeah.
How
basketball.
tall are you? 6'1"?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, you're 5'11"?
5'11".
Okay.
Yes,
it's the heels. Yeah.
But yeah, I played basketball, volleyball, softball, ran track.
You were a center in basketball.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ripping those rebounds.
It was me and my cousin. She's like about 2 inches taller than me. Yeah, we were both. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we play center or forward.
How old are you when you had your first drink or first drug?
God. Let me be honest. I'll tell you a story. My grandfather made wine. So me and my grandfather was really, really close. Like I was his favorite. So he would go in, like their old house was like next to like where they built their new house. So in the old house, my grandfather was like always going in there. So I was like, Granny, I want to go in there with you because the washing machine was still in that old house. They would wash the, clothes on the washboard. So went in there with my grandfather, and he's in there. I remember him distinctly. He was in the front left room, and he's in there stirring. I'm like, what, Granny, what you doing? I had to be like, probably, I'm going to say maybe 5 or 6.
Oh, you were young.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw him go, I said, I want some. And he gave me some. I was like, and it was sweet. It was, he made wine.
Yeah. Red wine.
Red wine. Yep. It was sweet. I was like, oh, that's so good. So me thinking like whatever he gave me, I was like, that's, it was good. My granddaddy, I know he would sit in his truck a lot, and he had a can in there. So me being the child that I am, I go in the truck when my granddaddy's like in the house. I go in the truck and think I'm getting like, I thought what was in that can was probably what was in that house. And I was like, let me try it. So I drink it. And my sister, it was like a couple of my cousins around or whatever. So I drink it. No, I think it was some poison or something. So my sister was like, oh my God, you drink poison. She was like, drink milk. She ran to my mom's house, went and get the milk, gave me some milk. I'm drinking milk. After that,
Never again.
Never again.
At least for your childhood.
For my childhood.
Yeah. So
never again.
You go into high school, you're playing sports, you're active. Mm-hmm. What was high school like from an identity standpoint? Were you the athlete? Were you friends?
Very athletic and very academically very inclined. Very smart. But that was something that my mom like instilled in us. Like it was education. I mean, even my grandparents, like as a young kid, my grandma was like, "That she's gonna be my doctor. She's gonna be my doctor." So she just like instilled it in me. Like, and that's all I wanted to, that's all I wanted. Like my mom bought me the little kit where you take the bones out. And if you hit something, I would be in my own world playing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like be over there while everybody else is doing whatever they're doing. I might have a handful of June bugs. I'm over like dissecting them. I was always kind of quirky like that. Like
biology type.
Yes. My God. It was very inquisitive. But
this show is sponsored by Open Recovery Addiction Help. Whether you're newly sober, in long-term sobriety, or even maybe looking to make a change in your life, Open Recovery offers 24/7 support right from your phone. It's anonymous and packed with tools to help you stay connected, stay accountable, and build the life you deserve. Download the Open Recovery Addiction Help app today and take the next step in your recovery journey.
My mom, like I said, her and my grandparents, you're going to go to school, you're going to go to, college, and that was like put in all of us. Like my mom had 5 kids and she wasn't playing about that school. She was like, A, B, what you going to be the average? You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say, C, you can see your way out of my house.
Yeah. Shout out to your mom. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
For her to hold down 5 kids.
5 kids.
And emphasize the importance of education.
Yes.
That's huge. Were there any other doctors in your family?
That got their doctorate? No, I'm the only one.
Wait, so there are doctors in your family that didn't get their doctorate?
No, I'm sorry. Well, in the family, I have a cousin that was a dentist.
They were doing surgery in the backyard.
Yeah, my cousin he was a dentist. He passed away, but I'm the only. And we have a couple other people that have doctorates. In our, not
not
in the
medical family.
Yeah,
not in the medical space. Yep.
Yeah, but
got it.
Like cousins of cousins that have their doctorates. But in our family, like I am the first one to get my doctorate.
Yeah. So you go on, you graduate high school, good grades, academically standing out. Where do you go to college?
I got scholarships to Duke, UNC. It's like every college around that you could think of to play sports. But in my mind, I'm just like, y'all keep pushing me to play sports, but I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to go to school for academics. Yeah. And I was offered both academic and athletic scholarships. Yeah. So basically all those schools. I go and pick, I didn't go to, since I went to a predominantly white school, I was like, well, maybe after all those choices, and my mom was like, I choose to go to Shaw University. My mom, she was upset. Yeah. She was pissed.
She wanted you to go to Duke.
She wanted me to go to Duke and UNC and all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or State, NC State. That was another one that they all offered me full scholarships to play.
Now, why did you pick Charlotte?
I picked Shaw. Only because I like the coach. I was like, she's kind of like my mom, like motherly. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then I was like, the other schools, and Shaw's a smaller school. It's predominantly Black. I just looked at UNC and State and all those. I was like, I'm going to go there and be a number. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not used to that. You know what I'm saying? I need more, I thought, more hands-on.
Yeah.
End up going to that school, and it was like, went there. Didn't stay there. I would call my grandma, like, Grandma, she's like, no, just stay there another week, baby. And she's like, you stay there, we'll come and get you the following weekend. She kept telling me that same story over and over and over again. I was just like, nobody's coming to get me.
Yeah, I'm in it for the long run.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what? It's not, this school's not for me. It's not for me.
How long did you last?
Probably almost a year at Shaw.
Okay, and then where do you go after that?
Then I go to Derm Tech. I was like, I know I still got to go to school. By this time, I've met my first husband. He was older than me. He's like 8 years older than me. Mm-hmm. Met my first husband. We get together. I'm going to I'm going to Derm Tech. Going to Derm Tech. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get my, I started with computer programming. So I did that.
Oh, so you weren't on that path to become a doctor
I'm
yet?
telling you, yeah.
Okay, computer programming.
Computer programming, yes. Oh, God, yes. And then I did my general studies because I was like, I'm going to transfer over to North Carolina Central University.
Mm-hmm.
So I transferred over to North Carolina Central University.
Mm-hmm.
I enrolled in their nursing program. Graduate nursing program, top of the class. Graduate from there. Then I started working at Duke and UNC. They let me go into, I'm sorry, hit the mic. But yeah, they let me go right into critical care. So that's, most of the time you have to, you're not going straight to the ICU, critical care. I'm like, yeah, I'm loving this. This is it. This is what I like right here. Worked there for a while. I'm working at Duke, working at UNC.
What are some of the things that you saw in critical care?
Oh my God.
What was the worst that you ever saw?
This guy, I don't know if I should tell that story.
Tell it. Come on.
It was a gerbil in this guy's anus.
Oh my God. It was stuck in there.
It was stuck in there. Him and his boyfriend I don't know what they were doing, but yeah. And they laughed about that. Like we were looking at the film. Like, oh my God, like what in the world?
So you sit him down. It's still in there.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah.
And how did you guys get it out?
You know what? I don't even remember what they did to get it out, but he wasn't even my patient.
Oh,
it
so
was just I was
doctor.
a part of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just stuff like that just fascinated me, but not just those type of things. It was just taking care of people and, you know what I'm saying, reviving and that like CPR and, just that hands-on. I really, was thriving in there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this for a little while. And I did a bunch of like traveling. I did, I was working at Duke. Like I left UNC, worked at Duke. Then I started getting into the travel nursing because that was hot then. So I first started working in Centaur in Hampton. And I was doing 3 days there, driving back to Duke, doing I did nights, but 3 nights. Did that for a long time. Then I went, after that contract ended, I started working at Holy Cross Hospital in Maryland. So I was driving back and forth, doing 3 nights there, 3 nights at Duke. I did it for a long time.
How long is that drive?
It took 4 hours.
Wow.
4 hours. And I did it for a long time until like my first husband, he was like taking care of, the kids by this time. And like he had stopped working. And I just noticed like I was coming home and just things weren't right. So we ended up separating and then divorcing.
Yeah.
And then that's when I met my second husband, and he was in the military. But I knew him from high school because we played basketball together. He played at another school.
Yeah.
So I ended up seeing him at, I never was one to go out like the clubs and stuff like that. But since we were going through a divorce, I went home and they were like, oh, there's this club. She was like, everybody's there, my cousin said. I was like, everybody? She's like, yeah, so everybody went to school was there. So I ended up going that night, and that's when I saw my second husband. And he already divorced his first wife, and I was going through a divorce.
Same page.
And yeah, we started talking and we clicked back up again, and we decided that we were going to try it out and date. And he lived in Virginia. He was in the military. He's in the Navy. So.
That's amazing. So after traveling back and forth, where do you go from there?
After I get my divorce, I moved. By this time I had my first. I had both my 2 older daughters because I had both of them
from the first marriage.
From the first marriage.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you have 2 kids.
2 kids. When I moved, my youngest was 4 years old. 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I should tell you this or put this on air, but with my first husband, he was very abusive. And what really made me leave was when I found out he was cheating with my first cousin. I let them come stay in my house because they didn't have somewhere to stay. And my grandmother always told me, never let a woman live in your house. I don't care who it is, whether it's your siblings or no, don't let a woman live in your house. They were sleeping together right in my house. I didn't even know. I didn't find out until later. But when I told him I was leaving, I remember calling the moving company while he was gone, out looking for a job. And I had the whole house cleaned. They took everything. All I left was a marital bed. And I left my daughters in their my kids' room, their 2 beds. I left that in there, but I took out everything else out the house and had them put it in storage. He comes home. By this time, I'm upstairs. My oldest daughter, she's not there. She went and go stay at at her cousin's house. For some reason, she was gone that weekend. And my 24-year-old, that's now, which she was 4, we were sleeping in her room. When he came home and he saw the house was clean, he was like, Sheila, he was calling my name. And I was like, Chris, I was like, look, leave me alone. I said, I'm trying to sleep. I got to go to work tomorrow. All I know is he bust through the door and jumped on the bed. And he was like, B, I'm going to kill you. And he started choking me until I passed out. But when I was looking at his eyes, all I saw was black. Like, I thought I was dead. And all I could see was my daughter. And I'm looking at him, looking at her, and I'm just crying. Like, in my mind, I couldn't talk. So I was like, but in my mind, I was like, so you gonna kill me in front of our daughter? Like, passed out. When I woke up, thank God, like my neck was hurting really bad. And I ended up calling 911. He was outside. So when the cops came, they took him. And, and they was like, sir, like your prints are on her neck. So it was like, you couldn't deny it.
Yeah.
So I had to leave.
Yep.
I had to leave and we left.
So you meet your next husband. You guys get together. Where are you working then once you get with your second husband? I'm
working for this company. I can't even remember the name of it, but we did lithotripsy on it was like a bus that was wrapped behind Centaur Hospital in Hampton.
Okay.
So they were looking for a nurse because, you need to sedate the patient before the lithotripsies. So I applied for the job, got the job, once I moved there, because I was going back and forth to see him like on the weekends
in
while
Virginia.
I was in Virginia. And then I finally moved to Virginia. We took the kids and we moved. And like I said, got the job there, started there. We're dating. And then he proposed probably 6 months after that. And then we end up getting married and I'm working the lithotripsy. So that was 2007 when I left North Carolina, went to Virginia to live. And 2008, I was probably at that lithotripsy job maybe a year. And how the steps were set up in there, the steps were really small. So, because like I said, it's in you can hook, drive it off. It's one of those big trucks. You see where you give blood, one of those trucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And steep steps.
Steep steps. I'm in there. After I give a patient, we put them to sleep. So we get finished with that patient. So I'm walking out to go get the next patient. And my foot goes on a step and over.
So you almost twisted it, kind of.
It
gave out.
Ended up breaking in 2 places. No, it broke in 2 places. It swole up soon as it happened, maybe 5 minutes after it swole up. So the guy on the truck, he was like, well, let me do it. He did an x-ray right there on the truck and looked at it. He was like, he said, I don't know. He said, but we walked in the ER because we just had to walk off the bus and then go inside the hospital because I had to go get the patients anyway. So they rolled me in there. They put me in a wheelchair, rolled me in there. They did some x-rays and they was wrapped it up. told me that I probably need to, see my doctor or whatever. So I'm like, this thing, I went to the doctor. He was like, it's just sprained. I'm like, man, I said, this not sprained. I'm like, end up not being sprained. It was broken in 2 places. So probably maybe it took a month before they actually sent me to, to another doctor. And that's when he saw it. It was Dr. Midas at, I can't remember what.
An orthopedic, right?
Yeah, it was orthopedic surgeon. Went to Dr. Midas, and that's when he noticed it was broke in 2 places.
Was it healing back the wrong way because you had waited so long to treat a broken bone?
There were still pieces, that's why the swelling never went down. It was still bone broken up in there.
Floating around in there?
Yeah, it was bad.
Did you have to have surgery?
Yeah, had 2 surgeries.
Ooh.
Matter of fact, it was so bad. Dr. Midas did the surgery, and he tried to fix. It was broken in the front and the side.
Yeah.
So I still have the scars on my leg.
Yeah.
But he did surgery, and it still was not healing. It was still bad. He was like, look, he said, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, you're either going to need to go to Maryland to, it was another specialist in Maryland, or he said, you're going to need to go to Duke. So I was like, I'm not going to Duke. I was like, I used to work there. And I said, maybe I should go to Maryland to see, Went to Maryland, and that doctor was like, oh God, he jacked your ankle up. Yeah. So he tried to go back. That's when I had the second surgery. That was 2 years later. So this was going on. This is a long span of time. I'm talking about 2008. The 2010 was the second surgery that he did. So he said he was going to try to go in to correct what the other doctor did, plus fix the side of my ankle.
Yeah.
So I was in a foot, the boot thing, rolling, it seemed like a couple of years.
Yeah.
It was just that bad.
How painful was it?
Very painful.
What kind of meds did they give you for the pain?
2008, he started with, I think it was Vicodin. It went from Vicodin to, I think it was Percocet.
So hydrocodone to oxycodone.
Yes.
Yep. And were you taking them the whole 2 years until your next surgery?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you were on Percocet for basically from 2008 to 2010. You have your second surgery. Mm-hmm. Do they just then re-up your?
Yeah. Every time I went back, they would increase the prescription, increase it. I'm gonna tell you what, I went through a lot of pain medicine. I was to the point I was taking morphine, and they gave me PO morphine, and that's when I found out I was allergic to it, because the PO, it feels like it's something like a cotton ball in your throat. I was like, I can't.
What's PO morphine?
PO, they're morphine, pill.
Oh.
In pill form.
I thought you said PO.
Well, you're taking it PO. I'm sorry. PO means
medical
by
term.
mouth.
Yeah, that's a medical term.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So you were taking morphine pills. Got it.
Yeah. So they backed off the morphine, because it was it was she needs it for the pain, but they kept increasing my pain meds. You know what I'm saying?
That's insane.
Every time I go, they will move to this, move to that, and then increase the dose, increase 3, I'm taking it 3 times a day. So I'm still working, taking my medicine, just then it got to a point I was on so much that I would just be in my room, with my leg up on a pillow, and I'm just taking my prescribed medicine. And it was a little dysfunctioning. Until the point that, what they were giving me still wasn't helping the pain. So sometime I'm going to say I was taking more than what I should be taking.
Your tolerance continued just to skyrocket.
Oh, yeah.
Over those 2 years.
Yes.
So you have your second surgery. Mm-hmm. Your tolerance is very high because you've been taking them 2 years prior.
Right.
After the surgery, you don't go right back to work. I'm assuming you take a little bit of time off.
Oh, yeah.
Rehab a little bit.
Doing a lot of rehab.
A
lot of rehab, a lot of sending me to different doctors. He can't do anything.
Yep.
Because I had to come back from, I was still back and forth with him and the doctor in Maryland. And then I was still, have to come back and see somebody there, going through therapy, like it was years of therapy. Like between those 2 years, it was, it was a lot.
Now, can you take us through the day you decide to cross the line at work?
I never crossed the line at work.
Okay.
It was just at home.
Okay.
I was crossing the line at home.
Okay. Were you?
And then I got to the point, so you're talking about over a span of time. How can I explain it? Before it got bad, I was still going to school. So after I moved there, I started University of Phoenix. I got my Master of Science in Nursing, Master of Health Administration, the Nursing Informatics. Got those 3. Still on pain meds, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think this is over some years going on. So, so I'm still going to school, doing that. And I go to Indiana State Postmasters to get my Postmasters in as a board certified nurse practitioner. So I got that. So I started. Now by this time I'm mobile and I'm able to work. I'm doing my clinicals for that. But I'm still taking pain meds. But
So how many pills are you taking around roughly towards the end?
At the end, so once I got my, board certified nurse practitioner, I started my own practice basically and did telemedicine from out of my house. So, and then I got with this other nurse practitioner and we had a signing, physician that I worked under. This guy couldn't write prescriptions because he was dealing with addiction himself. So the board had, revoked his DEA license. So me and this other nurse practitioner started, basically he was our signing physician, but now I'm able to write scripts now. So seeing patients, writing, script for patients. I knew it was getting bad for me because I started writing scripts, and let me write it in I wrote stuff for my husband or my, or his mother or some, people. But I started writing, because let me write some scripts. I'll write in his name and I'll just go pick them up. Yeah, that's what I started doing.
That's what I was talking about with crossing the line at work. There we go. I knew it was in there.
The line was crossed.
So obviously, I did my homework on you before you came. So now we're talking.
There you go.
So, okay.
Cross the line.
Okay. So you have your telehealth practice that you're running.
Right.
You can write prescriptions.
Right.
You're starting to write prescriptions for your husband, family members.
Yeah.
You're filling them all for yourself.
Yeah. Basically.
Can you walk us through what it looked like? So you write one, let's say, for your husband. And it was paper prescriptions at this time, right?
Paper prescriptions. Yeah.
What year is this?
This is, I got my FNP probably 2011, I think.
Okay.
So it might have been somewhere around, it had to be around 2011. Between 2011 and 2012.
All right, so 2011, they were still paper prescriptions then.
Mm-hmm.
So you write the prescription and then you would just go to the pharmacy and pick up, you were writing them for Percocet?
I was writing them, for Percocet.
Okay.
And I was on benzos at this time too. I had anxiety, so I was taking benzos. I got addicted to the damn benzos. So
you were on a cocktail medication.
I'm writing. So what caught me up was in 2012, I had my twins in May of 2012.
Okay.
And my husband went to Germany right after I had the twins. So I'm dealing with postpartum. I'm on medication, and you go up and leave, and I got 2 twins here. You know what I'm saying? I think it was, I'm going to be honest with you because, you never know who turns you in. But I'm thinking it was a guy at the pharmacy because I know he was probably seeing like, she's coming to get a lot of pain medicine,
For all these different people.
Right. She's coming to get a lot of pain medicine.
So you wrote a script for your husband in postpartum.
Wrote a script for my husband and he was not there. He was in Germany.
And you went in to go pick it up for him. Didn't you need identification then of that person?
At the time, no, because I was picking it up for my husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As long as you showed same last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it.
So
you go into the pharmacy, you write this prescription for him while he's in Germany.
Yep.
What happens with the pharmacist?
Nothing. I mean, the pharmacist was filling up the scripts, but I went to the family doctor because I would go on base, and I was telling the physician on base that I was like, yeah, well, my husband's gone. And so, he documenting all this stuff. I ain't, realize I'm telling on myself. Like, so I'm telling like, yeah, my husband's gone and I'm stressed out. And I got, what I'm saying? Because they were prescribing me my, the benzos that, for my anxiety.
Yep.
So I know I had to be the guy at the pharmacy that called the board, but the board did their homework. They did their homework.
It was in the medical database that your husband, because he took the notes. It was
he
clinical
took the notes.
documentation.
They had everything. Yeah, they had it laid out when I had to go before the board. They was like, well, we already know that when you was writing those prescriptions for your husband was in Germany because you told the doctor that. They had all that.
Okay.
I didn't know they do that much digging.
So the pharmacist calls this in to the board.
Yeah.
And
I
then
know it had to, yeah,
when do the authorities get involved?
The board doesn't get involved until I think it was like 2014, 15.
So you're still doing this all the way through 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I was doing it. I mean, it wasn't like frequent, but it was frequent enough.
Yeah.
It was frequent enough to
Well, can you
caught.
walk us through the day that you end up getting caught and what goes down?
I get a letter in the mail from the board. And once, I was like, you got to meet before the board, But like I said, when I went, like I got a lawyer like last minute and he wasn't like really up to, they had it, like I said, they had it all laid out. It was all laid out.
So you go meet with the board with this attorney. What do they say?
They were like, we're going to suspend your license.
But do they present you with documentation?
Yeah, they had all that.
Walk me through what happened.
They had all that. They had.
Were you shocked?
All this. Yeah, I was shocked.
So what happened? You sit down in front of them. They pull out a folder.
And you have the whole board is there, and they're like, they present their case. Like, that was like, and when you wrote for him, and he was in Germany because they was like they showed me, and I'm like reading like, damn, I told him that, like all that they pulled up all the scripts, that I wrote that I wasn't supposed to have, and that the medicine that I was taking, and what I told my doctor, and like, okay, that's.
So what happens then at that point? You're stripped of.
They suspend,
your board certification.
Yeah.
So you
no. I'm still. I mean, they can't take your board certification. I mean, you're still board certified, but you can't practice. You
can't write prescriptions.
You can't. No. Mm-mm. So the DEA didn't take my DEA license. They just suspended my F&P license. And once they suspended that, then that suspended my RN license. So now you can't. There's nothing I can do.
Okay.
I can't practice.
And now you're left with this raging addiction.
Right, basically. Yep.
Okay. What happens next with you're doing all these opiates? You are no longer allowed to practice. Mm-hmm. Do you seek out help?
At that time, I think. I mean, they were trying to like back off some of the meds. I mean, but I was like, I was addicted. I was, like I said, taking more than what I should. I was still getting, my meds. It didn't stop me from getting my meds, but I was going to the Naval Medical Hospital in Norfolk, and I just remember, I think the doctor that I had, he was like, well, we're going to have to back you off some of these pain meds. And the benzos or whatever. I guess they were, they were trying to help me, but it was just like, I was still in pain. I still had anxiety. Like,
yeah.
So he was like prescribing it still, but but I was abusing it. You know what I'm saying? I was like still taking more. Like I would run out before it was time to get them refilled again. I'm like, fuck.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't go out and take anything else, but it was just like, I know I was abusing them.
Were you going through detox at all during the end of the month?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What did that feel like?
By this time I'm home because there's nothing for me to do. I'm home. The kids there, my husband's there. He's back from Germany or whatever. And it was just, I don't know. I just went through a lot. I stayed in my room a lot. Like, that's when I just started just being in the room, like just laying in bed, watching TV.
Isolating?
Yeah, very isolated.
Yeah, that's a tough place to be.
Very isolated.
So do you get in trouble with the law at all?
No.
As a ramification from what you were doing?
And I still have, they like I said, they didn't take my DEA license. They, like most times they take your prescribing, the DEA comes in and they'll script you that. But no, they never did that. It didn't get like to that point. Thank God.
Do you eventually end up getting off the opiates?
Yes, I did.
Can you walk us through what the last 3 months of your usage was like?
So at the time, I started my doctorate with Capella University. So I was still going there, but I was still taking medication.
Wait, you became a doctor after?
I never stopped going to school. That was the thing. Like I finished with the FNP,
shit.
then I started Capella.
You just keep hitting me with all these surprises.
I know, and I still, like I said, I was still indulging, but like I said, the education piece, I still was going forward, but it was just But
how were you able? All right, so you become a doctor, but then how would you be able to practice again if they stripped you of that right in 2015 or 14?
Okay, so I was getting my doctorate before they did the stripping.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that before they did the stripping of my, of all that, my license. So that's what I said. I never stopped going to school. So after I finished the FNP, I was like, okay, now I got to get my doctorate. So I started Capella, and then I, finished there, and it was like around that time where now I couldn't practice. I'm like, so now you got this, and now you can't you can't do anything with it now.
Yeah.
Like,
so how did you end up coming off the opiates and Xanax?
I stopped them myself. I was like, things got bad. They got bad in the marriage. They got bad at home, and I'm like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I can't, I gotta get off. Basically wean myself off of them.
What was that like? Painful?
No, because I said that's when I got real with myself, and then like I said, with the ex-husband, him doing the little stuff, my kids would tell him like, Mom, they really didn't know what was going on or whatever, but he just started like, like I said, he would like be recording me, and I kind of got, sobered up and just saw what was going on. And yeah, very, very shameful. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you calling me, saying I'm a drug addict? Like what?
Yeah.
Like I'm not no drug addict, you know? So I had to come to Jesus meeting with myself, and I was just like, you gotta get off this. I've been off of pain meds 13 years.
Wow.
It's been 13 years. Been over a decade.
Wait, so that was
over
2012 was 13 years ago? And then your board certification wasn't, you weren't stripped, but to practice wasn't.
I can't practice, yeah.
That wasn't until 2014.
That was around, I want to say it was like maybe 2015.
But you weren't using up to that point? You weren't using opiates?
I'm still using. Yeah,
oh, okay. So 10 years then you have. When okay.
So it's been a decade now.
Okay,
right?
got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's amazing. What helped you stay off of the pain meds after you got off them? Like, did you implement any kind of tools? Did you start going to meetings? Did you find God?
I told myself like, okay, look, said Sheila, you can't take pain medicine and those benzos. But they still had to put me on anxiety medicine. So I'm on that. But I even know like today, like I knew like once I weaned myself and I was like, no, I gotta get back on my game.
Yeah.
I'd weaned myself off, but I just know I can't take pain meds and take my anxiety meds. Like it's either one or the other.
Yeah.
So I haven't taken any pain meds other than if I had a surgery between,
a doctor's prescription.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
And you stuck to the doctor's orders.
Right.
From a medical professional.
Exactly.
Back then,
right.
you were taking more than prescribed and you were writing prescriptions for other people in your family and you were taking them. I get it. Yes. I mean, if I could do that, I probably would have done that in the grips of my addiction because we do some crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
We don't think
I'm like, what was you thinking?
We don't think about the consequences at that time. It's crazy because we will risk it all just to get that next one because we want to feel.
Yeah, I risked my entire family. So, just end up getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And all that,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Broke up the family. But, I had 2 beautiful twins out of that relationship. So.
That's amazing.
They're 13 now.
So you have been off of opioids for a decade. We were talking a little bit about God before we went on camera here. And what has God done for you in the last 10 years and helping you kind of reestablish yourself?
I guess I had to get to the root of like, you didn't sign up. I didn't sign up to be addicted or be an addict. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I can't even believe I'm saying that word, an addict. I didn't sign up for that. And that wasn't something that I went to seek out. It was from me getting prescribed those medications and no one told you what they, what they would do. And then you come with now the opioid crisis and, I filed claim with those, with them as well.
So I think
God has come. I mean, if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would be today, honestly. Like over these last 10 years, like he showed me like, you are great. You are that person that you started out to be, to help other people. Like, you got to forgive yourself first. And I always told myself that. You got to forgive yourself.
It's funny, when I was using and I was in the grips of my addiction, I would always think, well, an addict is the person who's homeless, sleeping under a bridge, or I'm not an addict.
Right.
And then I started going to self-help meetings and became educated on addiction. And I quickly learned that addiction, it doesn't discriminate.
Oh, no.
In your case, a doctor, writing prescriptions for yourself via family members. In my case, I had a corporate job in New York City and I was like, no, like I have this great job. It's okay. It's fine. I'm doing great. Everyone on the outside thought I was doing great as well, but really I wasn't.
Right.
And I would justify it. And I continued to use for probably around 12 years. And my ego and my pride was so big. I looked for any little crack to differentiate myself from quote unquote what I envisioned as an addict.
Right. Of course. Like an addict. No. I'm not that. It wasn't like I'm out here like, buying pills or, whatever. Like I'm on crack. Like, I mean, that's what they, like what my ex made it seem like. Like, I swear, every time I hear it, I hear that. And I'm just like, never will go back.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah. What is life like for you today?
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
Are you practicing again?
No, I'm not practicing. I thought about going back and I was going through the process and I was just like, you know what? They would make me go through a bunch of hoops. And I'm like, you're about to be 50. So you got to find something that you like to do. I mean, I started a nonprofit. I actually, in 2023, I got an honorary doctorate in humanitarianism because I was like the whole while I was always doing, helping like the homeless. And so I put in like over 200 hours of community service. And then I also ended up getting, after I got my honorary doctorate, I got a, in the middle, I started my 501c3, the Baker Foundation, and I got the Lifetime Achievement Award from President Biden.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's a big achievement.
Oh, yeah.
What's your nonprofit?
The Baker Foundation. I help like military, homeless women and children. So I've been, I have a mentor with SCORE, Bruce Simon, and he's trying to help me, build it up. And we've applied for a couple grants. So I'm just trying to see where that takes me. But yeah, I always like to help people. So it was just, that was always in me.
That's great. Do you have grandkids?
No.
You have 4 kids though?
4 kids.
That's amazing.
4 kids.
They're all in their 20s? No, 2 are in their 20s.
Yeah, 29. She'll be 30 in July. 24-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I have twins that are 13.
Do the 2 oldest know your story?
They do.
Are they so proud of you?
They are so proud. They are proud because they was like, Mom, we didn't know what you would. She said, we didn't understand what addiction was and we didn't understand what was going on in the house and why, I was acting the way I was acting. And they could put it together now. They couldn't put it together then because they couldn't comprehend, what I'm saying, what was really going on. So the dynamics, but yeah.
Were they impacted at all by it?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. They was like, Mom, just keep going. My oldest daughter works at the hospital. She's got her CNA and she has her medical assistant. My 24-year-old, she just got her master's in criminal justice, and now she wants to go and get her PhD. And like my twins, they're 7th grade.
Yeah, they're young.
Yeah, they're young.
They don't know what they want to do yet.
Right, yeah. Well, they know what they want to do.
What is
one
it?
Wants to go in the military, and the other one wants to be an esthetician.
Wow.
And she's like, I'm going to be an esthetician, Mom. Like, I'm not going to college. I said, but you still got to go to school for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I really appreciate you coming here from North Carolina and coming on the show. And your story is truly one of, showcasing adversity. And you're helping a lot of people with your nonprofit. And I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.